Okay, and this is the fourth quarterfinal. It is Brazil versus China. And honestly, I'm surprised this went four, but you see this first set was 31-29, so it's a close game, and then the other ones are decent games. It's the fourth set, or sorry, this third set seems like it got away from China a little bit. But, I mean, you got Souza, the big dog. He should be on the right side. Um, you have Dos Santos. The Brazilians always have like multiple names, so I always mess it up. But you got Fernando, the setter here, right here, this guy right there. He played for. No, it wasn't Padova last year. It was with. It was with Taylor Averill. I just can't remember which. You got the other Souza here. He must have played as well. Gualberto Fernandez, I believe. Souza Dalan. You got the boys. You got the boys. Brazil's a beast, a beastly team. Okay, let's continue. I don't know any of the Chinese guys. I'm not sure. The guys on the Chinese team here, I don't know them. But obviously they took Brazil to four, so pretty dang good. And I mean, they're playing for the national team. Any national team is usually pretty dang good. Not the best start for number 23 right there, though. Good serve, decent pass. Little low set here. Missed low and inside, but the dude just rips it cross. Great dig. Finds it. Finds it off the block there. Real unsmooth triple block there, I'm not gonna lie. This guy. This isn't what you want. This isn't what you want. You want smooth. I mean, they're stepping on each other's toes a bunch here. Stuff happens, but at least he's on the next route. Good recycle here. I like that. Let's see that one more time. Recycle, pushes it in. Obviously, he knows he doesn't win it, and he immediately gets down and digs it. And, like, anytime you're reusing and, like, genuinely going for a recycle, you should definitely look to drop low once you disconnect from the ball almost. Because, like, you just want to give yourself a little bit of extra time to react. And they're following. It looks like that. So they did goes really far over here, and that was Henrique. Yeah, he played. I'm thinking of somebody else then. But then he reverses flow, and they got a broken double block there. And this is why, like, even out of system, as a good setter, how far can you be from target and still stress the block? You know, like, that's always interesting to me. Without sacrificing too much accuracy. You know, like, if you whip the ball way everywhere, like there's just kamikaze craziness to it, you're going to stress the block, but you're also going to stress your hitters. You know, like, so you got to find that balance. But I bet playing with him, you know he's going to stress the block, so you always just are on your route, trusting him. China's playing well right now. Starting off pretty decent. Getting real scrappy. Playing real scrappy right now. Tough. And just over the top. Over the top. And I like, again, like, he just mixes up. He changes what he does so often. Like, he doesn't max out on his jump sometimes. He, you know, moves his back like that sometimes and, like, acts like he's doing whatever. He makes a lot of movements to where if you try to read his body language, you're gonna get tricked at some point. Like you might guess a few times, right? You might, you know, reverse psychology a few times, whatever, you might get it right. But majority of the time he's gonna trick you, honestly. But, like, this right here, he's shooting it really fast. He's obviously stressing these blockers out pretty hard, but he also stresses his hitter out enough to where he's not able to get a real swing on it, and he ends up getting blocked. He almost kicked his teammate too. And these Brazilian middles, they always have these low draws. And it does work, man. It does, but they have to just start that arm swing earlier, and they have to be quick with it. They have to be quick and clean with it, or else they're not going to be able to be successful with it. But it's fun to watch because, dude, when they get a hold of one, they do really well. And China, getting another block here. Good block. Look at how vertical this guy goes. He gives himself an opportunity to get that block there by jumping straight up and not drifting a ton. I like that serve. It's a pretty good serve. Just missed out a little bit. Float ski. China. And this guy, he's missed, again, like that same type of thing. It's a somewhat broken double. It's a pretty good double, honestly. That's a good block. I want to see that double block move real quick. That's middle. See, he takes a dedicate step. This middle takes a dedicate step. He shuffles over, into that first third of the net, honestly. But then he stays balanced the entire time. He waits, and then once he sees, he explodes and goes. Really, I like that move, honestly, a lot. Real lot of system here. Let's see what they do. Goes for the tip. And something like that. You just got to be quick. You have to see the block. You have to go around the block on a dunk like that. But especially nowadays, that is such a huge part of the game. And it needs to be such a huge part of the game. Every single player should be able to adjust like that and do stuff at the net like that, where they dunk, they press, they swipe. It's such a huge part of the game these days. And actually, I'm noticing that here in Puerto Rico, it really isn't taught much. The joust mentality. It's not really taught much, but I'm hoping this year in season I'm able to kind of take advantage of that and joust a lot of people and catch some people by surprise. And maybe I have a little bit of an advantage because in college we were very focused on that. Overseas we were pretty focused on that. So I'm excited to see if I can kind of take advantage of that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Nice dunk here. Again, if he's late enough where he doesn't have time to take a full swing, throw it down, but just make sure you throw it down with power and you're going to a spot where no one's playing defense. And this middle doesn't really make much of a move on defense here. It's a good touch. It's really a good touch on the block. Goes off the hands there, lands right next to the middle. He's got to go. And look at the reaction that these 2 or 3 guys make when he doesn't go. They're all like, dude, you got to go. Everybody at this level, everybody is expected to be able to play defense, and that includes middles in that single, sometimes even just a single play that they're playing defense in. They are expected to be able to play defense and make a good move. And you put them in the 6, so it's maybe easier for them, whatever. I don't care. They're volleyball players. They should be able to play defense. You're not going to expect... You don't want to expect a middle to make crazy moves on defense all the time and be as good at defense as a libero. Okay, that's not what I mean. But what I mean is they should be able to make the normal plays and get a few digs here and there. If it's easy, they should be able to make some digs. I really like this swing here. And look at how he comes in at an angle, and then because of how our torsos are, he's able to just rotate through, take it on a good angle with some power, and go through because that space is open. It's a really nice swing. I assume this kid's a pretty young kid because he looks, I don't know, from this camera, it looks like he's pretty young. Off the foot there, it looks like. Nope, off the ground. Let's see. Spin serve. I like this guy's serve, but he's missed twice now, at least the 2 that I've seen. Good pass. Look at how low he is. Look at how low he's getting. He's getting low. He gets that ball on his forehead. He just leans over, gets that ball on his forehead, and then just quick hands high. Quick hands high. Look at how quick his hands are here. Gets both hands on the ball, goes quick high. Bang. And that allows a perfect pass. That perfect pass causes stress on the block. He gets pretty much a solo block. Very broken double block is considered a solo, and he gets it. And even though, especially against this guy as a blocker, he's not the biggest blocker there is. So, being able to stress that block up enough where it's able to isolate that guy just is so important. And again, it's very impressive to me how he's stressing the blockers from here. Not even jumping. He's not a threat as a dump. This guy's not even on a pipe, and yet he's still able to stress this middle out right now. Look at how stressed this guy looks. He's jumping back and forth, and then his block move ends up being like this. He's not as high. He's not as pressed because he's to the side. And, it looks like he gets the kill here. He got blocked. He got blocked. But still, I don't know. I mean, I feel like this guy should be able to get the kill here against that type of block. I want to see if this right side kind of bit on it too. No, not really. But he respected it, and he respected this middle option enough to still make a shuffle block move instead of a swing block. He stayed on it. He just made the right move. But again, being able to just stress that block out enough. You got 16-14 China up. Good pass, decent pass. Goes through, hits the right side. And at this point in the game, after his middle got babied, after his outside made a dumb error, he's saying, all right, let the big Souza take care of business. Let him just be physical. Hang it up there for him. Throw it in the window. Let him take care of the rest. Bang. He's not even worried. He's not worried about trying to stress the block out in any way. He's even just shoulders back there, put up a perfect ball, go. Because again, on the point of stressing the block and stuff, if you're trying to stress the block, you're successfully stressing the block, but then your hitters aren't really handling that. They're not taking advantage of that. Maybe they're making errors, or maybe they're just not getting kills and they're getting dug. Pick your best guy. Make sure you put up a perfect ball and say, okay, I'm gonna let you do the work. I'm gonna put up a perfect ball for you. I'm gonna make it easy for you. You do the rest. Calm down on it, And when you're flowing and the guys are flowing, when everybody's just in their flow state and they're getting kills, doing their thing, then that's fine. But then it comes to a point where you're okay, I'm trying to give some people some opportunities by stressing the block out, and I'm missing windows a little bit, missing some sets just a slight bit, but I'm stressing the block out, and that's not working. You say, okay, let's calm down. Let me give you a perfect ball. Let me stop trying to move my body around and trick people. I'm going to put up a perfect ball. And I do feel as though it's kind of a tough thing for a setter. And you see now, this is maybe 3 out of the past 4 sets. He's just throwing it to Souza. Maybe those numbers are totally wrong. But three balls in a row that I've seen, he's just throwing it up to Souza, letting Souza take care of business. And he's not worried about faking people out this way, whatever. He's just putting a perfect ball up to Souza. And again, this type of thing too. Especially if there's a big difference. I would consider there to be a big difference between Souza and this attacker Bergman. He's Brazilian? That boy white. Bergman. That dude is... That's not a Brazilian sounding name. But anyways, there's a big difference between them, and you're just saying, all right, let me just have the big dog do something. And now you got the big dog in there. Now you got the man right here. He's playing at Verona this year. I am pumped to watch that. And this setter is doing the same thing. He's saying, I'm not trying to trick anybody. I'm going to Souza. I'm going up there. and Souza goes and takes care of the rest. And like, I don't know. I mean, it's like a tough thing for a setter to swallow, because it's like a little bit of a pride thing where it's like, I want to take care. I want the game to be in my hands. I want to do the work for them and look cool. But sometimes you just got to be basic and let someone do the rest. You know, like, I don't know. It's tough. I don't know. There's a balance, and it's kind of tough to find that balance sometimes, but you just got to swallow that pill and say, I want to win. Even if it makes me look like a basic son of a gun, I'm going to make sure that we win. You know, really good joust. And look how he gets his feet there, pushes through, doesn't go in the net. And he's able to drift on that jump because he's drifting a little bit horizontally, and he's not drifting towards the net too much. Because if he was drifting straight towards the net, he would have just gone underneath. What did they call here? Oh, they challenged this, and this was down. This is down, yeah. Wow, didn't get his hand in that. Wow. Good for China for just playing through it, and then after the play, they say, no, that was down. Good for them. Out of bounds. Let's see. Big serve. Overpass. Let's see how Brazil handles this. Whoa. And again, like, when it got to crunch time, they have completely fed the Souzas. They've fed him and the other guy who came off the bench even, but they have just fed them. Good for China for siding out there. That was a huge side out. I'm not sure. Woo! And that's a big old block. Check this out, man. Let's watch that again. Good pass. In the last video, I talked about, making last-minute adjustments. That jump right there is just a last-minute adjustment to perfect pass. Nice job. Wow, look at that. He's just saying, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you on something. Like, I think you're going to go on some angle. I'm taking both. And bang. And again, like, if you're going to go for something like this, make sure you're still pressed. He's forward. He's not here back like this, or else he's just going to get domed or tooled. He's forward like this. He's taking away space, and then he's around here. If he gets hit, it's down somewhere. Wow. Let's watch that one more time, full speed. Bam. Stares him down a little bit, too. Come on, big dog. Come on, big dog. I like it. Let's see. What's his name? When were you going to get that past the block? Bang. I don't know. I'm not a quipper. Good swing, though. That's a nice swing. He wanted him again, I think. Yeah. Now it's 27-27. Let's see what happens. A little two-pass there. Throws to the outside. Outside's early, and he finds a quick swing into the block before he can press. If he would have waited and he hit the block here, that's not a tool. But he's able to hit the block before he's able to press. Yeah, that's really impressive, honestly. 28-27. Let's see if they win this point. I think, they didn't. Yeah, it was 28-30, was that, or was it 29-31? Huge. And again, crunch time, it is, once it hits 18s, crunch time. It is crunch time. And they've just fed their right side here. Out of bounds. 29-29. Let's see. Floater, good pass. Over the top. What a time to do it, too. I like this little, what is he, an 0-2? Yeah, he's an 0-2. Yeah, he's definitely an 0-2. He's a passer, small guy. Bang, gets up. And I like how low he stays through his approach. Just loaded through his approach. Goes up, blasts the ball, gets the kill. And now it's 30-29. Woo! Good block. And if he wasn't pressing while he was jumping, he wouldn't have gotten that block. Like, if he was like, okay, he's going really high on me, I'm going to just reach super high. He's getting tooled like crazy. But he's thinking, if you go low, you're screwed, guy. If you go low, you're screwed. And that's exactly what happened. Souza went a little bit too low and got completely housed there. Good for that middle, man. Good for him. Drifted into it to close. It's a perfect pass. He loads, goes, jumps, making it. Look at how much space he's got to cover with from this step to this step. That's a lot of space. Covers it, presses really well, finishes into the middle of the court. Really nice block move right there. Really nice block move. Let's see what it is. Lee. Nice job, Lee. A little floater, 2-pass. Around the block here. Ooh, good dive. And I mean, with like China's undersized here. China's at a physical disadvantage against this team. Like these middles are huge. Souzas huge. Bergman's pretty dang big too. And so with that, you have to kind of accept a few things. You have to accept that if you stay perfectly in the 6 and just stay neutral, you're not going to get any blocks because they're going to just take good enough swings to the sides and you're not going to be able to get a good enough block. So he kind of dives. He dives into something. He dives into the 5, gets a good block there. And I'm not sure if it drops. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't drop. Good cover by them. Good for them. Look at that loaded little pop. Bang. Good for him, man. That's a really nice swing. I love how he takes his approach at this angle, which causes the middle to try and block that angle, and then he just pops, lets it get to him, just waits for it to get to him, bang, and then just clocks it. Good for him. And yeah, I mean, you can also probably, as a team, have a system where it gives the middles a little bit of freedom and liberty to, pop this way, pop that way, as long as you figure out the right tempo to where you can throw it through and it can kind of pass through a wider window, if that makes sense. Like it stays on this trajectory through this window. Wow, what a save. Good for him. And you're going to get into some situations where you got to throw one hand in there. Like you're not going to be able to dime every ball. Sometimes they're just going to hit a serve sharp on that line and like you don't really have many other options, Good dig. And they got the middle playing, they got the libero playing in the 1 spot right here. And again, same type of thing that I was talking about. They have looks like, wow, good swing. Bam. Nice. Through the hands, off the hands. Anyways, they have their libero playing in the 1 spot. They have their outside playing in the 5. They have their right side playing in the 6. Oh, wow. But again, like you should be a good enough volleyball player to where you should be able to be thrown into different spots. An outside should be good enough to be like, hey, our team needs you to play right side for blocking purposes, for hitting purposes, for defense purposes, even like whatever. Like we need to switch your position almost. You should be a good enough volleyball player to say, okay, I can do that. Like you should be well-rounded enough to be able to be moved around, adjusted by a good coach. Good pass. Bang. Yeah. And personally, I wish he would have taken this approach from here and like kind of went on an angle like this, because then he's jumping to the left, trying to make sure it gets to his right shoulder, and then it's really hard for him to like hit anywhere in this angle. Like it would have been like if we would have asked him to at this point right here to try to take this over here, that'd be really hard for him. But because of that approach and whatever, he's almost forced to swing to the 1 spot, and he almost gets blocked there. Yeah, but like if he would have taken that approach kind of at this angle where it opens up his body a little bit more, it just almost makes everything available for him instead. Oof, see ya. That one's gone. Floater, hands, over top, blam. He really, I don't know. I don't like the Bergman. He's not my favorite player. I'm not going to watch film on him anytime soon. No, I'm not going to break him down anytime soon. Spatching balls, being silly and such. Jeez, my stomach's grumbling. But he took this approach. He didn't open his body again, and then was just trying to compensate with his arm and his shoulder. Like, it just didn't work. The dude's obviously a beast. He's on the Brazilian national team. And most coaches would probably say he's better than me. I'm just being picky. I'm just being picky with what I see, because that's what I do when I watch film. And again, like, this is that same type of thing where it's just hard for him to move his body in a way to hit to that 5. And, like, his peak, he completely lowers his point of contact because he needed to, like, move his body like that. So, like, it even takes away range because you're not hitting the ball at a high, as high of a point. Your contact point becomes lower, which, takes away what's available to you. So, even on a BIC, you just got to think about what is going to allow me to get to my peak. Oh, you got what's his name? Souza. His name's Souza too? I thought it was, whatever. He played with J-Tech last year. Gosh, I suck with names. Big serve into the net right there. Yikes. Okay. Roll ski. And again, like, as I'm talking about being a volleyball player, that almost hits the middle's head and he doesn't take it. Okay? Then he juggles it like a soccer player, which is pretty sweet. That's pretty athletic. But again, like, had the liberty to just be like, okay, this ball's right in my head. It's a free ball. Let me take it. Free ball going up. Good take by Bergman. Way to take initiative by Bergman here and say, hey, Souza, get on your route. I got it. Middle, get on your route. I got it. I don't need to be part of this. I'm putting this up there. Perfect free ball. 3 options. 3 options stresses the block enough to where that should be a kill. It wasn't. Bam. Runs it back. Gets dug. Little tipski. And honestly, like, I feel like China's doing some weird things like this where it's just like, okay, we didn't expect him to go short like this. And then he makes a good move here. Dives inside. Presses well. Gets a good block on Souza. Again, like, Souza's contacting it way higher than this guy even can reach. But he's disciplined enough to say, okay, fine. He can hit higher than me. Okay, cool. But if he hits down here, he's getting blocked because I'm pressing really, really well. And I think that he's going somewhere over here. So I'm going to put my hands over here. And if he goes OT, okay, fair. But he didn't go OT. If he's not disciplined enough, or if he just doesn't do it, then yeah, whatever. I want to see this approach here. Good approach. Good take by him. His momentum's bringing him to the setter. I think it's just easy, and like an outside should be able to approach from here and still find a good enough angle, open himself up to that cross, and like give himself some options. And like, honestly, putting up a perfect pass, in my opinion, gives an outside hitter more options than leaving early and having the libero pass a 2-ball, because it takes away block. It takes away block coverage, which in turn opens up space. It just opens some more things up. And this is kind of a ball that I've been struggling with, is this ball where it's setting from here. I'm trying to figure out if I want them to leave it inside and whatever. But like, and what tempo to run it on. But he just gets hooded here. Good block move by the middle. Bang. Again, good press, good hood, good coverage of that high ball. I'm gonna plug my computer in real quick. It's not plugged in. Okay, hold on. Let's go back. Let's see what happens. Pass. Jousted. Good deal. Good choice by Fernando. Yeah, Fernando. By just making sure he gets his hand on that ball. Presses. He's barely above the tape. Okay, let's be honest. He's barely above the tape. But he presses through and just like beats somebody quickly. Good for him. Let's see if I can plug this in without looking. One hand save there on the dig. No, I can't do it. Let's see what happened. Back to him. Back to Souza. Trickles through. That's not luck. That's skill, isn't it? Just kidding. Perfect pass. Spatched out. What the heck? He really hit him on that block there, huh? Really pushed him. But again, like this is, wow, actually he kind of pushes like through a little bit. It's a little bit dangerous, I'm not gonna lie. A little bit dangerous, but it all worked out. I think he's okay, yeah. He's all right. Fernando, a little spin to float, right in the middle. Gets him an option. Low ski. Low, but that outside's ready enough and just able to adjust on that ball and do something that's good enough to score there. Like, that's not an ideal play by any means. Not an ideal set, not a perfect set or anything like that. But it's good enough. It's a hittable ball. And that guy made a good decision. You know, and like, the difference between a perfect set and a hittable ball, in the sense that I'm thinking about right now, is a hittable ball is going to require the pin or the hitter to make a good enough decision. Okay? A perfect ball is like he can make every single decision. A hittable ball is he might not have every single decision available to him, but if he makes the right decision, he can still score. Okay, that's what I mean between a hittable ball versus a perfect ball. A perfect ball it's right where he would ideally want it, and he can make every single choice available to him. But hittable is just like, okay, I can't give you a perfect one, but I'm going to give you a hittable one. Please make the right choice type of thing. Gosh, they are just blocking. Honestly, China's blocking pretty well. They really are. Good for that guy. It's a pretty big joust right there. Souza. Yeah, and like, he tries to throw it through the block there. It looked like he kind of tried to throw it through the block. It's kind of hard to describe what that was, but yeah, he just gets beat there. Really good help block there. Quick hands, quick over the net. And again, like, on those help blocks, get your hands over the net early. You know, because like him jumping like he did, it's just purely a quick one. That's not even close to his max jump, but he's just getting his hands over the net quick and helping out. Good swing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He's just really wide there. I'm not sure why that middle was so wide with his arms there. Obviously, it caused him to get tooled, but I don't know. Let's see. They're out of system Bergman. Ooh, scoop. Scooby-doopy. Little throws the hands in there, just not enough. He tries to bring it back to the middle of the court. He's just not. Yeah, he didn't get that one. He's frustrated with it. And they take that second set. Okay, I thought he footballed for a second. Who's that libero? I assume a lot of these guys have played in the Brazilian league, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty good league, I think. I don't know what Americans have played in the Brazilian league, or like what non-Brazilians have even played in the Brazilian league recently. Oh, wow. Yeah, lots of miscommunication. I don't know. I if I had to guess, I would assume that this specific starting squad has not really played much together. I would assume that Bergman's kind of an added addition to this. Fernando's not their usual setter. They usually have So what's his name? What's his? Whatever. I don't know. The other Brazilian setter. Gosh darn it, I suck with names. The guy that played for Modena for a little bit. Again, push it into the block first. Push it into the block first, or else you're gonna miss the block sometimes. But anyways, it just looks like their connections are all off over here. It just seems like they get out of sorts with. And like, if I'm being completely honest, it seems to me like Fernando, that's the setter here, is on a lot of teams that aren't connecting super well. Like they're just not flowing together very often. Like it seems like they get out of sorts consistently. But maybe that's just, was it Padova or whatever team that he was on with Taylor Averill this year. Just like they're not on the same page. And those two running into each other had nothing to do with him specifically. I'm just saying it seems like he's kind of a hard setter to connect to. Because he does a lot of weird stuff. And he does miss a lot of windows. This is a perfect set, okay? He just he pushes what's available very hard. Like he pushes to try to do the work for you a lot. And I mean, like, he tries to beat the block a lot. Like right here, again, like he's trying to trick this blocker here. And it ends up that these two are just on a different page. Whether it is that he thought that he was going to be over top and he shouldn't have been, or he thought he missed the window, or whatever it is, they weren't on the same page, and there's just a lot of empty possessions, And like you see his face, like he's frustrated. I don't know if he's frustrated himself or if he's frustrated. Like, let's see what he does here. Yeah, they're on a different page. Whether it's his fault or his fault, they're on a different page, and I don't know. Like, I don't want to blame him for it. I'm just saying, like, it seems like they're on a different page. But when he just like locks in and just hits somebody's window like this right here, bro, easy shmoney. I just don't think that he can. I don't know. I don't think he can push the block as much as he. I don't think he can push the block as consistently as he tries to. I think he just should calm down, like tone it down just a little bit, because I think there's too many empty possessions because of how hard he's trying to push that block, how hard he's trying to stress them. Yeah, I don't know if he missed. I think he missed that a little bit to this guy's left, and it kind of forced him to his left. But if this guy was able to swing to his right there, that would have been really money. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know, I haven't really watched him with Team Brazil that much. I haven't watched him with too many other teams besides his Italian team last year and in this game right now. But he does try to do he does try to stress the block a ton. And I think he could be cleaner and more if it's stressing his team out too much, then that's not going to work. Like, that's going to hurt your team, and that's all I'm trying to say. Let's continue and talk about something else now. Rough time there. Tries to go off the side of the block, it looks like, and then it just kind of goes there. And again, I think I've said this in a different one, but if you're trying to reuse and go after here, go after right here, these two hands, because usually that'll bring it to one of these two guys. But then, yeah, it looks like it just kind of went there. But if he's trying to go off the side of the block there, I would say try and aim lower. Try and aim at the elbows. Because, the the first adjustment that this guy's going to make is to move his hand. It's going to be a lot harder for him to move his elbow. Like, you're not thinking with this part, you're thinking with this part, if that makes sense. Like, you're trying to get it with your hand as that blocker. You're trying to get your hand on the ball. You're not trying to move your elbow to where you can get it, And, like, maybe that'd be a kind of a good blocking drill to work on defending against tips, jousts, and tools, and reuse and recycles and stuff. But, yeah, you just want to aim for those elbows and stuff instead so that it's harder for that block to adjust to and beat, in a sense. Dime, back. Ooh, what happened here? Somebody in there? Oh, it went on their side. Interesting. I don't know what happened. Whatever, I'm not messing with that. Perfect pass. Wow. Kablam. And like this right here is a lot better. Like he's reusing it. He gets that hand right here. And it goes towards the guys that are covering. Like if it's tighter and you need to like set it into, like just put it into their block almost like a joust and then you drop and play it, that's a different scenario. The scenario that I'm talking about right here is when you're kind of off the net a little bit and you have to like tip it with some space. Aim for those two inside hands. Or if it's only one block and you think that the only option that you have is to try and recycle, aim for that dude's inside hand still. Bang. And if you're going for a tool, you don't aim for the inside hand, you aim for the outside hands. Bang. But again, like even here, you're seeing it hit his wrist or lower instead of his palm, It's a good swing. And I mean, you can tool the pinky. Nice. Good serve. A little no-cut ace right there. A little confusion in the seams action there. Oof. Dude almost got bopped by the wires and pole and stuff. Bam. Ooh. Cut shot. Tries to go cut shot. And it just looks like he just didn't contact it as high. Like, maybe not. Maybe he just brought it down. It looks like he just brought it down too far. That's all. But that's like, you don't want to miss into the net. You never want to miss into the net. I would rather miss outside of the court, or I'd rather get blocked than hit into the net. Because hitting to the net gives you zero chance to win the point. Absolutely zero chance to win the point. Like even swinging 10 feet out of bounds, who knows? Maybe that guy in the six is like, oh my gosh, I think the block touched it, and he goes and dives for it, Or even if they dig you, who cares? Like the play's still going, you still have at least a 1% chance of winning the point. This dude is so big and physical, and he just gets up, gets to his peak, and just goes after something. It's always a quick decision with him. It's always a quick physical decision with him. And it always impresses me. And he is not at all the most fundamental volleyball player. But boy, oh boy, is he just physical. And his physicality just compensates so much for that lack of fundamentals. In a good way. It's impressive how physical he's able to be. So we're in this fourth set here. Good take by the libero. Good pass. That's a really nice dunk. Nice job, Bregman. Really nice block. Bergman, that's what it is. Really nice. I just want to see that one more time. Because he goes like he's swinging and he puts some pace on it, okay? It's not just a set straight up into it. He puts some pace on it, okay? Ooh, wow. Bounced that puppy. Big serve. Wow. Another big serve. And this guy was kind of falling back on that. Gosh, my tummy is grumbling, isn't it? Ooh, good recycle there. I mean, I don't think that's what his plan was, but it worked out. And again, same thing. He's physical with two hands here. So It's nice. Pass the block, physical, throw it down. That's really nice. Decent pass. For what it was a decent pass. And, like, I just want to see this pass again. He holds the angle. He makes sure that it's good enough. He's not looking to dime that ball. He's looking to help his team out by just making sure that they have a chance. Nice swing. Oh my gosh, y'all hear my stomach right there? Holy crap. It went crazy. Anyways, big serve. Yeah, it looks like, oh wow, must have been out or something. Maybe there was, I don't know, whatever. Up. Oh, not a great touch by that middle there. But it's working out. They get a chance here. And that's just a beautiful swing. And, like, if you're contacting that super high, you get that clean so that ball's coming down a little bit, and you just swing to that deep corner. It's hard for that defense to do anything. It's hard for that block to do anything. That's just a really high percentage swing right there. Chops it short. Big block up there. Wow, good swing. And, like, I feel like the blockers a lot of the time their block moves with the hitter, and so that's why it's also helpful to hit the ball on the way up. It's helpful to hit the ball on the way up because, like, you're trying to swing, you might be able to swing before they're able to press, so Bregman or Bergman or something. Big swing. Let's see. Fernando. Spin to float. Good serve. Over top. It's a risky play. Trying to go one hand to the pipe. But, it could have been worse. Y'all hear this? Holy crap. My stomach's going oh my gosh. It's like echoing in my stomach. Anyways. Let's continue. Is that on their side? Yeah, it looks like a block. Wow, that's a really nice press. Really nice press of that right hand there. Like, look at how he just takes that. I mean, it kind of just hits the thing. But, like, yeah, he just takes that cross by pushing that right hand forward there. Really nice. Good serve. Good pass. Really good pass. And, like, it's honestly so hard to gauge what is an aggressive spin to float serve, because, or even just a float serve in general, because sometimes you have a really good float, perfect contact, really nice pace to it, really nice spot, whatever, and then somebody just dimes it, and that just happens. It's kind of hard to gauge, but it's not so much about, like, volleyball in general isn't even so much about I put a good serve in, or I did something really good, I should be rewarded automatically. That's not at all. Like, you could put you could take the best swing possible, and somebody could just make a crazy move and just hit it somehow, and it's up, and they're chilling. Like, that's just volleyball, man. It's not, doing something good is not always a 1-to-1 correlation. Like, it's just a random crapshoot sometimes. Or sometimes you, like, do a perfect recycle, and then two people look at each other and they're like, oh, I thought you were going, and it drops. But, like, right here, this could have popped off this dude's shoulder and gone deep and scored. And it's just like, hey, that's volleyball. That happens. Really good swing, though. High, hard, deep, clean. Really nice there. Really nice serve. Really nice serve. Gets himself to his peak. Brings it with some cut and some pace right into a seam. And again, like I've said this before, but serving into seams just is such a high percentage that, like, gives you such a better chance of putting pressure on a team, because it just requires a better passing move than if it's just in someone's lap, and, like, I would rather, let's say it's either a 60 mile an hour, let's say 65 mile an hour spin into right into somebody's lap, or wait, sorry. Yeah, 65 into someone's lap. Really nice quick swing here by him. Swing before the middles or the blocker is allowed to make a decision. But anyways, I would rather take a 60 mile an hour serve into a seam than a 65 mile an hour serve into someone's lap. Definitely. And I would assume that most people agree with me, but maybe I'm unique in this. I don't know. Doubt it. But I would assume that most people would agree with me on that. Let's see. Bang. Woo. Skablam. What a dig. Get hit sometimes, man. Just be okay with it. Go. It's a volleyball. The worst thing that could happen to you is you lose a tooth. That's pretty cool. That's pretty badass. Or you get a concussion. Concussions suck, but hey, if the ball's up, the ball's up. You might be out for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but hey, ball's up. Good ball. Again, do it with some pace so that even if it goes past, it's still somewhat aggressive and it possibly could even score. Or if it goes, it could maybe even tool and go far enough to where it can't get dug. Or if it goes into their hands, it's a recycle. You can't be so soft about it. If you're too soft with a recycle, then you're not going to put enough pressure on. Who's going? Yeah, and China's a little bit out of sorts sometimes, but they're scrambling well right now, honestly. They're hyped, they're balling, they're scrambling well. That's a good block. 16-17. Oh my gosh, is that out? Oh, I thought that was in. Let's see what they got going on. Floater, takes it with his hands. Dump. Great decision. Dude, these Chinese middles are playing really well. It's a really good dunk right there, though. Gets it high, throws it with pace. Throws it into an angle, too. It's not just like okay, I don't know where I'm tipping it. No, he had complete direction there. He knew what he was doing. He had intention. Nice dunk. And you don't need to be super, super physical to be physical. Fernando with a really nice dump there. Just because he's short and smaller and he's not touching the top of the antenna doesn't mean he can't throw that ball and dunk that ball with pace and with some physicality to it. Whoa, Spatchki. Spatch and a half there. It's been flow. Ooh, it's up. We're chilling. Let's see what happens here. Off the hands. I think that guy, he got tooled and then he just fell. I don't think he twisted. Oh, shoot. Did he twist his ankle? Uh-oh. He might have twisted his ankle here. I don't know. I think he's cramping. He cramped. That stinks. Floater. And this right here is why you want to get that on your forehead. Look at that. Check that out. He gets it to his side on his left shoulder. And then at that point, you have no legs. And it's almost like trying to bench from up here. Like you're on a bench, you're trying to bench, but you're benching up here instead of benching right where your muscles are, Good set. Good tip. Again, have control on it. Feel that block. Swipe off. It's a really nice swipe, honestly. Good for him, man. Over the top. And this is beautiful. And he can put that pressure on a team. He can put that pressure on those blockers without sacrificing hitting windows, But I feel like he just sacrifices that too much sometimes. Gosh, but he can do some really great things. He really can. But he just needs to, do them more consistently, that's all. Ooh. All right, ball's still in play. They still have a chance to finish it here. Let's see what happens. Over the top, tip, blocked. Yeah. And again, maybe even just tipping it with more pace. I mean, it was just a tough play, though. But hey, stuff happens. Thanks for watching.